Hi everyone, today I'm going to be adding glass to a real cute Christmas wood cutout. Last time I did a wood cutout, it turned out good, but I did make a few mistakes. So this time I tell you what mistakes to avoid, and I hope you enjoy the video. So for this project, I received a 12-inch Grinch hand cutout from one of the ladies on our Facebook group. And it's wood, and it has a little hanger on it so that you can hang it on a wall, on a Christmas tree, wherever you want. And I took it out to the garage and I sprayed it with some gold spray paint, and then I also then gave it another layer of gold glitter spray paint. And I did this on both sides. While that was drying, I took some Ashland decorative filler. This is the silver reflective glass that you can get up at Michael's all the time. I just have it in a big container there. It normally comes in a smaller, like 1-pound container, and you can usually pick it up for around $3 on sale every day of the week. It's really a nice deal. They always have coupons also. And I sprayed it with the Krylon Fusion all-in-one spray paint, and it's called Jungle Green, I believe. And this I call Grinch Green because it's the perfect color for Grinch. When I was done spraying that, I spread out some red glass that I had, but I didn't really like the color red. It wasn't a bright red. I really wanted a bright Christmassy red. So I spread that out, and I took my metallic Tamiya red spray paint and I gave it a good coat of the red, and look at how bright and pretty that is. And now you can see me over there on the other side. I flipped the Grinch hand over, and now I'm spraying the other side identical to the front side. I'm using the gold spray paint, and then I'm using the glitter gold as a second coat. And then after a few minutes, I picked up the paper and kind of shook it around a little bit so that I could give it another coat. And you can see how it's not all totally covered. I probably should have been wearing gloves because I'll end up with red all over my hand. But this Tamiya spray paint really does dry fairly quickly. And then I did the same with the Grinch Green, and I gave them both another coat of spray paint and let it dry. Once everything was dry, I brought it in the house, and I have this paper. It's a plastic, and look at the pretty design on it. And I totally messed this up, but I actually have it flipped the other way, and I didn't realize it, but I do have it. It is plastic, and I'm going to adhere the Grinch wood cutout to the plastic. So the last time I did this, I ended up doing putting it on a sticky paper, and I kind of messed the whole thing up. So this time I decided I'm not going to put it on sticky paper. I'm just going to cut out this piece of plastic, put clear Elmer's glue around the perimeter of the back of the entire cutout, and let it dry in place before I add the glass. And then I push it down and add something heavy to it. Actually, I put a piece of parchment paper over it first because I'm afraid that if I don't, whatever I set on it is going to stick to it, and the parchment paper is non-stick. So I put the parchment paper on and then put some heavy boxes on top of it to kind of push it down until it dries. So here I'm showing you the mistake I made last time. This is when I put it on contact paper. Well, two things I did wrong. I put it on contact paper, so a sticky back paper, so it was really, really hard to pull off. I was afraid I was going to break the wood. It was so hard to pull off. And also it pulled a lot of the glass off when I pulled it off, so it was just pain. Now, the other thing that I did wrong last time was I put the glass in first, so the glass adhered to the sticky paper. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put resin down first and the glass on top of it. So this was a complete mess. I ended up having to, this was my last project, I ended up having to add more glass to it. And everything worked out in the end, but that's why I don't think it's the best idea to use contact paper, the sticky side of paper, to do these wood cutouts. It's just too difficult to get off. So I let this dry overnight, took the boxes off, and then mixed up my resin. And then next I took my resin and just slowly drizzled it into all of the openings. Just a very thin layer, and spread it out with my little spatula. As soon as I was done spreading all the resin out, I started sprinkling the glass on. And first I used the Grinch green glass, and some of it was kind of hard to get up into the tips of the fingers. I had to pick out the teeny tiniest pieces because, well, the Ashland decorative filler is pretty small to begin with, but I really had to kind of push it down into there, but it covered really well. You can find smaller glass to use for these, but the Ashland decorative filler seemed fine except for in the little tiny areas. I have this video sped way up, so what really is probably taken the entire thing about a half an hour, I have sped up to like 3 minutes. So I really did take my time trying to get it up into the tips of his fingers and everything. And then I just work slowly from area to area, putting the thin layer of resin down here for the sleeve. And then you'll also see me drizzling the resin on top of the green glass. So there's resin under the green glass to anchor it, and then resin sprinkled on top of the green glass. And then next I'm putting the red glass on for the sleeve. Again, the Ashland decorative filler that's colored with the Tamaya. That's the metallic red, super pretty color, metallic red. And then for the sleeve, I used another Ashland decorative filler, and it's a seasonal glass that I had bought a whole bunch of when it came out. It'll probably come back out around Christmas time again, but it's an iridescent glass. And I always tell people this one, it's best if you can just put it under the resin, but because I'm putting it so thick on there because I want it to look like a puffy sleeve, you do have to drizzle a little bit on top just to make sure that it stays in place. And then next I'm putting a little bit more resin down on the ornament, and again the red glass, and then I put a little bit of gold glass up in the very top of the ornament and drizzled some more resin on top. It's kind of self-explanatory. And then I did take the rhinestone chain and make a little design across the front of it. And I also took the rhinestone chain and went all the way around the perimeter of the ornament and around the perimeter of the sleeve of Grinch. This I actually added with the B7000. I talk about it when I do the reindeer molds. You can see my little reindeer molds sitting up there. I do a dozen really cute reindeer molds, and a lot of this stuff I attach with this B7000. And this is the first time I've ever used it, and it works really well. I'm threw out my E6000 and I'm now using B7000 because it's so much thinner and so much easier to work with. It's got a little metal tip on it with a pin that goes in it so it never dries up. It's really easy to control where you put it. Just super easy to use. So that's how I added all the rhinestone chains anyway with the B7000. So this is the B7000, and it is so much thinner than the E6000, and it has a nice little tip. It comes out easy, thin, easy to control, and it has a pin that just goes right back into it, and that's how you seal it up. And it screws on so this way it doesn't dry up. It is 100 times easier to use than E6000. So I have switched to this. You can get 4 big bottles like this on Amazon for $9.99. I'll put a link in the description. Very inexpensive and works great. And I just happened to have it out when I was doing the reindeers. If you haven't seen my reindeer video, they turn out super cute. Check it out. It was a couple videos ago. Anyway, so this worked out good. I just had to let it dry and the whole thing was done. Hey everyone, here's my Grinch hand. So this is a really cool a wood cutout. I guess this is the 12-inch, and I believe it comes in a 6-inch ornament also. And this you could hang anywhere around the house. If you have the smaller one, you could hang it on the Christmas tree, or you could even hang this one on the Christmas tree. So this, I used all the Ashland decorative filler glass, and it worked out perfect. And this is the one I call Grinch Green, and I'll link the spray paint in the descriptions in case you need a Grinch Green for anything that you're making. And so I have done some of these before, some of the wood cutouts before, and when I did them, I made a few mistakes. So what I learned was after you put it down on the plastic, it's in your best interest to put a thin layer of resin first to be able to anchor the glass, because I didn't do that. And when I poured the resin, a lot of it didn't seep through to the bottom. So when I took the plastic off the back, some of the glass fell out. Not on this one. I poured the resin down first. So that's what helped anchor it. And look at the back. It turned out perfect. And also, the other thing was, and I know you guys probably still do it the other way, but so I have contact paper. And for the last one, I used contact paper, and the sticky paper was really hard to get off. And it pulled some of the glass out. Now, I don't know if maybe it wouldn't have pulled the glass out if I had put the resin on first. I'm not sure, but it still was super hard to get out. But if you have contact paper, you can just use the top of it like that to put it on to glue. So I just glued put a thin thing of glue all the way around the back of the wood cutout, and then glued it down and held it down with some heavy books or something. And that worked out great. But I didn't end up using contact paper. I used this paper because I wanted to see the design on it, to see if it would leave a design on the back, and like a dummy, I had it the wrong way, so the design didn't go on it. But I will do an experiment to show you what it looks like, because I'm thinking you could use that paper with the design on it and use maybe even just resin, and it would look like stained glass. So I don't know. But anyway, I think this is really cute. Yvonne from our Facebook group is selling these, and I will leave a link in the description. Please don't contact her on the Facebook page, private messenger, or through the link I have on the description. And you can see what she sells on her site. She sells some wood cutouts, and she has glass for sale, all different things, and a lot of her art stuff too. So it's good to support a small business. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. If you enjoy the channel and haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Check out our Facebook group. We have an amazing group over there, and I hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for watching.